Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Of course, I'm your favorite random man, Future King of YouTube, Terrence Woodson, in the building today. And how you guys doing? So, guys, once inside my random mind, where I talk about certain topics that is near and dear and close to my heart. And so, one of these topics today, we're talking about Mr. Freeze and why he should be back in the live action. So, what brought this topic on is I put a post up maybe a couple of days ago talking about Johnny Depp. A rumor or suggestion that Johnny Depp is supposed to be in the next Batman movie in 2020 called The Batman, and Johnny Depp supposedly supposed to be a Joker. Now, anyone like you, yes, I am a Johnny Depp fan. I enjoy his acting. I enjoy his movies that he be in, and even some of the bad ones. But I definitely think he would be a good fit as a Joker because he's a good character actor. So a friend of mine's on Facebook called Abel Yoon. Me and him both had a great conversation. So he pretty much said he wouldn't mind Johnny being in there, but I think and he's really right. I think sometimes DC fall too much on the Joker character, and dare I say this, Marvel Spider-Man and DC's Batman have the best rogue galleries out there, and I love their rogue galleries so much. So going back to Batman and think about it, we only seen Freeze one time, and there's others out there, but we're about to get the second version of the Penguin coming up in the films. I'll talk about TV shows now. Excuse me. We've seen Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and dare I say, Mark Hamill as the Joker. It does feel like, or more like, seems like DC falls too much on the Joker character. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think Joker is one of the greatest DC villains, not just Batman, DC villains out there. But like I said, before we get the second version of the Penguin, we had 3 versions of Catwoman coming to the big screens. Well, if you want to include Halle Berry, we had two versions of Two-Face, and we gotta get another version of Riddler in the new Batman movie. It's so much, and it makes sense that all these other villains out there are getting their time to shine. Well, what about Mr. Freeze? Back in the 60s, I want to say, if it was I think Freeze's name was Dr. Shivel. If I'm saying the name right, if not, please forgive me. But and then his origin story was he's working on an ice gun, and it backfires. So now he got to live in a suit below zero, at least below zero temperatures, just to survive. And and I was reading an article from CBR.com and how, because the first time I heard about Freeze was Batman the Animated Series. That's the very first time I heard of Mr. Freeze at all. And by reading some of that article, then reading Wikipedia and stuff like that, I was like, oh, so Freeze has been around. He pretty much was a throwaway character. So when I was watching the Batman Animated Series, it was like, oh God, who is this character? This character's really cool. Back then I didn't know what I know now, especially looking through reading characters and comics and so much like that. Freeze really is a deep character, and he was portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Batman and Robin movie. And I want to say this about Arnie playing Mr. Freeze. I think he was wonderful playing Mr. Freeze, but the problem was, one, I thought I didn't go too much deep into his character, and then it felt too campy, it felt too cartoony for me. And matter of fact, before I go, I'm gonna read this article, and I'm gonna keep telling y'all about how I feel. So to CBR.com, it's talking about Batman Animated Series. It give Freeze redemption. They did it twice, but I'm just reading maybe just a little bit or a handful. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. All right, so anyways, here we go. Harder Eyes not only changed the game for Mr. Freeze, with the episode going to inspire a similar overhaul for comic book versions of the character. but also changed the game for Batman the Animated Series as a whole. After winning a Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Writing for the animated program, the episode helped put the series on the map. Simply put, the show may not have become a beloved gold standard for Batman stories in the eyes of so many fans if it not had been for Mr. Freeze. Denny and Tim only expertly refined what was once a throwaway character, but also helped a mainstream audience start to take superhero stories more seriously. Come 1997, however, a good chunk of that process will be undone in a space about 2 hours. Again, y'all can pretty much read the article for yourself. Take your time and read about it. But let's talk about Freeze's background. As I talk about the 60 version, the modern day version of Freeze that I know grew up with, that Freeze's wife had an illness and he couldn't cure it. So pretty much what's going to happen. So he decided to put his wife in suspended animation. So hopefully one day he can find a cure. That was the goal. But at working at golf course, Freeze got portrayed by Bowles. Bowles pretty much wanted to use Freeze's stuff as for weapons, sell them, whatever he wanted to do it for whatever reason he wanted to do it. But what ended up happening was, by Bowles taking away Freeze's experiment, one of the experiments backfired. It made the room like in sub-zero temperatures, and Freeze really got hit with much of that blast, so he had to make a suit so that way he can survive in sub-zero temperatures. And even if he's out of his suit, he got to be in areas where it's sub-zero temperatures where he can withstand, where he can live. So pretty much Bowles kidnapped Freeze's wife, and so Freeze wanted her back. And to me, what I'm saying is, Freeze is one of these likable villains, thanks to the Batman the Animated Series, as I read the article. So for me, it was like Freeze. Actually, going back to the Batman and Robin, Freeze didn't get that fair shake, and I think I feel like WB, as a scapegoat, want to use characters that's really popular. And today, I think Freeze wasn't that big of a popular character. But look how many times Freeze has been on Batman stuff for the longest. So in a sense, since Batman and Robin didn't do good, so they're like, okay, we gotta go on our fail safe. So let's go on villains. Let's take in villains that we know that will help us out. So going back to the article, I'm gonna read this last part of the article, then we'll go back to what I'm talking about. In 1997, I saw the release of Batman and Robin, which was in contrast to Batman the Animated Series, was not only a low point for its lead character, talking about George Clooney as Batman Bruce Wayne, but a low point for superheroes in general. The film felt like a massive step backwards, both in terms of its own story, following Tim Burton's two excellent Batman films, and Schumacher's silly but still serviceable Batman Forever. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there just for a hot second, because I did say 3 Batman films. I think I said 3 Batman films. I'm sorry, but yeah, it was a 4th Batman film. It was Batman and Robin. Schumacher's Batman Forever was pretty good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It still felt broody. I hate the fact that he put nipples on the Batman suit. I will talk about that whenever I get to my reaction to the whole Batman movie series. Okay. Like I said, but silly but serviceable Batman Forever. Okay, and the franchise as a whole. The film was so campy that if the 66 Batman TV series was sentient, being that could scoff at. So pretty much what they're saying in this article, guys, that the movie felt campy, like I stated beforehand. But like I said, it felt campy because Freeze is really a serious character. Those of you ever play Batman Arkham Origins, the DLC called Cold Cold Heart, touch on Freeze's backstory. And I did play. And I'm when I get to it, it's coming up with the rest of the Batman LPs. But anyways, So it's like it just felt too kind of like one scene again. Like I said before, just talking about this video, I think Arnie was really good cast as Mr. Freeze. The problem was they made him too campy and he wasn't as serious. Because at one point in the scene, he's singing one of those old, like those claymation Christmas movies. He's like, I'm Mr. White Christmas, I'm Mr. Snow. So again, it's like, this is not Freeze. this is not Mr. Freeze. Again, younger me didn't know that, but growing up, what I know now, I know. So it felt like if Freeze had more depth to his character, it wouldn't make him be this silly character. So the crazy thing is this: how I feel. Like I said, I'm thinking it. I'm saying it now. I feel like Mr. Freeze is a likable villain. And the reason I say it's like a likable villain, look at Killmonger in Black Panther. Yes, I know his comic book character is different, but look what Killmonger doing. I'm paraphrasing this here, guys. He pretty much said, "Why y'all living here so lavishly? Our people out there, black people, of course, was out there dying and turning on one another. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take these weapons from Wakanda, give it to them so they can fight back. Killmonger, we see what you're doing, but it's wrong how you're doing it. But we get it. We get it." And it just wasn't black folks. Everybody got it. Like I said, that was one of Marvel's highest grossing movies besides Endgame. So here's another villain here. And Magneto, for instance. Magneto, because you know Magneto is of Jewish descent, and pretty much his family, his loved ones died in the Holocaust. So when Magneto got powers, and then he realized he's a mutant, he said, "I'm not gonna let this happen again to my people. So now I'm gonna help them rise up and stop what they're doing." And the reason Magneto's doing this because he saw what happened to his family, to his Jewish people. He's like, I can't let this happen again. So again, Magneto, we get what you're doing, but you're doing it wrong. And so it's like it's come to it like we get these likable villains, who's villains again by circumstances. I mean, that's talking in a sense like Killmonger, Magneto, Mr. Freeze. Like it really, Magneto, Mr. Freeze really had. I'm happy they had dug deep and made these characters likable. But with Mr. Freeze in a big screen, he didn't really get that chance. And dare I say, like Bane, again, Bane's not a likable villain, but he's another good villain in the Batman mythos. But that's really what I'm talking about. Freeze does get another chance, but if he got a director and a writer to get him so much love and depth, I guarantee you we will get the Mr. Freeze that we know in the comic books. But we're gonna wrap this up here, guys. I don't talk long enough. I'm gonna put the link below so y'all can read the rest of the article of CBR yourself. It's something I want to touch up on. Like I said, like not every villain gets that chance, and I hope that one day we will get Mr. Freeze in a Batman movie. Hopefully. I think it'd be good if we give him the tender loving care of some of these other villains. I think he will be there. I think he will be that. But the next time I do like something video like this for Inside My Random Mind is talking about forced diversity in movies. And the reason I'm talking about that because I saw Mugen Lord made a video about that, and it was really good. And I'm still doing my homework on it first before I bring it up. But anyways, thank you time if you're busy schedule. Watch your favorite Random Man, of course. I'm sorry for burping so much. I had to drunk pop. But boy, I tell you, there's something wrong with me sometimes. But on the screen you'll see hashtag me Corey's Kenshin. I know in my heart of hearts that's my goal. It's gonna happen this year. It's gonna happen. I believe it. I know it's gonna happen. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. And please, I'm gonna say again, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to your friends about me, and come to the Renaissance side. We do have those cookies. I'll see you on the next video.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice.